If you have been diagnosed with cancer or are supporting someone with cancer, this can be a challenging time. Action Cancer has expertise and experience in helping people to cope better through our counselling therapies. We see a wide range of people, men and women, young and old, and children from the age of 5 upwards. You can access our services at any stage in the cancer process. We offer counselling to people who have been diagnosed with cancer through their treatment and at any time after their treatment has finished. We also offer bereavement counselling to people who have been bereaved through cancer. One of our clients, Joy, came to Action Cancer and found our counselling very helpful during her time of bereavement.
10 years ago, my only daughter, Victoria, was diagnosed with breast cancer. I could not believe it, as 6 months earlier, my daughter-in-law, Fiona, had had the same news. Fiona had 3 children under school age. My life became a mixture of work, hospital visits, and childminding. I worried about the girls, their husbands, my grandchildren, and my youngest son who was doing his A-levels. I was lucky. When eventually I went to the doctor, a young locum, she recommended Action Cancer. My counsellor, Therese, provided an oasis of calm in an otherwise hectic existence. She provided me with the opportunity to rant and rage about the unfairness of the situation. I was able to talk about my fears, my worries, about what the future held, how I would cope financially after I gave up work to care for the family, things I could not say to my family or friends. 10 years on, my daughter-in-law is fine. My daughter was not so lucky. We miss her dreadfully. 2 operations later, I'm still here. My cancer was diagnosed 5 years ago. How do I cope? I know I'm not alone. I know I can lift the phone anytime, and Therese will give me the strength to fight on. Thank you, Action Cancer, for being there for me.
Another of our clients' stories comes from Marie, who came to us for counselling support during her treatment. She was also concerned about how her children were coping at this time, and they too came to Action Cancer for counselling.
Hi, my name is Marie. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in March 2013. I attended Action Cancer for counselling shortly after that. I came to Action Cancer because I find that I wanted someone to talk to without worrying my family and friends. They were concerned enough about me. My counsellor was Therese, and she was lovely. She kept telling me to go easy on myself and not be annoyed with myself whenever I was angry or cross or tired or shouting at the children or shouting at my husband. Therese calmed me down and helped me through the difficult times. I have 4 children. My 2 youngest children were 7 and 8 whenever I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and they both came to Action Cancer for counselling. Connor is the youngest. He was 7. He loved coming to Action Cancer because he enjoyed playing in the sandpit. He would draw faces in the sand. He would draw angry faces, sad, happy, anxious, whatever his feelings, whatever his emotions were at the time. And sometimes at that age, because he was so young, it was easier for him to draw in the sandpit than it was maybe to sit and talk to someone. He loved coming to the counselling. He loved his counsellor, and he was so happy when he came out from counselling. I really feel that it helped him. He saw other children coming and going, and people coming in and out of the Action Cancer house. So his mummy wasn't the only mummy who had cancer. There were other mummies in the same position. There were other children in the same position. My little girl Emer was 8 whenever I was diagnosed with cancer. Emer came over to counselling in Action Cancer with Anne, and again the counsellor was wonderful, and Emer just loved coming to counselling. Anne made up batch flower remedies for Emer because she was a little anxious. She couldn't sleep at night, and she was coming into bed with mummy and daddy a lot. That was a way of discussing feelings as well as the sand play, because the batch remedies, you talk about your feelings and what remedy you need for a specific feeling. Emer thought this was wonderful and just loved making up the remedies, loved taking them, and took it upon herself to take them herself. You know, there was no mummy giving it. Emer just loved the responsibility of taking the remedies herself. She loved talking to Anne and discussing her feelings. She came out of counselling and said that she felt as if she had just let go. She had talked about her feelings, her emotions, and she felt a lot lighter coming out and much happier. Counselling at Action Cancer was very beneficial for me and my children. You might find it helpful too.
Another of our clients' stories comes from Joe, who sought our support after hearing he had cancer.
I attended counselling with Action Cancer in 2014, and I would advise anyone who has been diagnosed with cancer to avail of the services with Action Cancer, which are free of charge. I found by attending the sessions, it gave me a better insight into cancer, a place to ask questions, get answers, and sometimes vent my anger verbally. I found it great to have someone to talk to, someone who didn't judge me or tell me everything that I wanted to hear. It was good to hear other people's perspective on issues. I think one of the main things I learned from my counselling sessions was to accept my disease and learn to live with it, and find that I am not the only person with it, and there is people in worse situations than myself. As I said earlier, I would like to advise anyone to avail of the counselling services within Action Cancer, as I found it helped to put my life in some sort of perspective.
If you feel counselling could help you, call us now. We're here to support you.